छुप जाते हो और मशहूर होता है मेरा नाम। आभार करती मेरी हर सांस, मेरे हृदय में है तेरा निवास। तू ही तो है मेरे आस पास, होता है मेरे दिल को आभास।
hold me in your memory. Remember when your dreams have ended, time can be transcended. Just remember me. I am the one star that keeps burning so brightly. It is the last light to fade into the rising sun. I'm with you whenever you tell my story, for I'm all I've done. Remember, I will still be here as long as you hold me in your memory. Remember me. I am that one voice in the cold wind that whispers, and if you listen, you'll hear me call across the sky. As long as I still can reach out and touch you, then I will never Remember, I'll never leave you if you will only remember me. Remember, I will still be here as long as you hold me your memory. Remember when your dreams have ended, time can be transcended. I live forever. Remember me. Remember me.
Om Shanti, Brother Charlie. Welcome to our Global Online Silence Retreat on the theme Embraced in the Silence of Divine Love. Om Shanti, everyone. We're now on our second day of our Global Bhakti, and we shall listen to Baba's precious jewels of knowledge as always. And so we have welcomed Brother Charlie to read the Murli for us. Brother Charlie, there are now almost 400 Zoomers and about 8 translations. So that's how big the Asia-Pacific family and the East Russia family has been. So welcome, Brother Charlie, and would like to welcome you with a special bouquet of flowers from Sister Soon. Sister Soon?
Om Shanti, Br.Charlie Baiji. This is a bouquet of love and regard from the entire family, especially for you. Please accept it.
Thank you so much, Sister Leela, for a beautiful welcome. And thank you so much, Sister Soon. That's a beautiful bouquet.
Yeah.
Really touching.
Some
So
of it
touching
from our peace garden as well.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
Wow.
especially
special.
for you from the entire family.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Soon. Over to you, Brother Charlie, for Murli.
So thank you so much, Sister Leela. So lovely to see you.
Yes.
And thank you, Sister Soon. And really thank you to all the family. You know, I just in this life, the more I go on, the love in our hearts there's nothing more powerful, is there? And just feeling the love of the family on this wonderful global silence retreat gathering. And wonderful to have the whole family of Asia, such a huge number, but also our Russian brothers and sisters and anyone else who may be joining in. Really a very, very loving welcome, because this global silence retreat, as you know, has moved around the world from different countries, and now we're in Asia. And I think how important is silence today? We're living in such a noisy world. The noise of conflict, the noise of hurt and pain, the noise of karmic accounts. I think wherever we live, it's getting louder, isn't it? This noise is getting louder. And yet Baba is taking all of us into this sweet silence inside. I sometimes feel that what is yoga? It's coming home to this sweet place inside where I feel so silent, so still, so calm, so content. Such an incredible gift from our Baba. And also I just really, before I start the Murli, want to acknowledge our two wonderful retreat centers in Asia. I've had the fortune to visit many times. I absolutely love Tagaytay. It's a purpose-built retreat center, I think, as you know, designed by a BK architect, and it's got a lot of heart and a beautiful, beautiful vibration. So it's especially lovely to have Tagaytay with us, and also especially lovely to have ARC, which is also, I think, Baba's biggest retreat center or biggest center outside of India. So it's a huge credit to the Malaysian family and as a whole for 1,500 people. So Baba's future there we can see, because Baba's got such a huge and wonderful place. So this morning, Baba is asking us all to sing the knowledge. Would you like me to sing the Murli this morning? Who would like me to sing the Murli this morning? I won't, but Baba's giving us the most beautiful title, The Nightingales of Knowledge. And do you know who Baba gave this title to? Sudeshti. And when Baba met Sudeshti, he called her a nightingale of knowledge. And I felt it was most appropriate because Sudeshti, our beloved Didi Nirmala, has flown away. And I always remember Baba's words, to a better part, a better part. And now Sudeshti is going to be the senior director of Gyan Sarupa and also the joint administrative head. So Baba's remembering her. And in my early days, when I took birth in London, we had a singing group called Beyond Sound. And we had, it's a great name for a group. And Daddy Jenki used to inspire us. And really, some of the musicians at those days were some of the top rock musicians in the world. They were some of the best groups in the world. And Daddy used to get us to sing Mera To Ek Shibaba Dusara Koi. And until her last years, whenever Daddy saw me, she used to say, Charlie, sing that song. So really lovely to sing the songs of knowledge, become the nightingales of knowledge. So it is the 25th of November, and the essence. Sweet children, become nightingales of knowledge and continue to sing knowledge throughout the day, and you will be able to reveal your physical and spiritual mothers and fathers. Question. It is said, grind your own ingredients and your intoxication will rise. What is the meaning of this? And this is a bit different because I think all of us think grind your own ingredients, churn deeply. Well, that's true. But today Baba's saying to grind your own ingredients means not to let your intellect's yoga wander here and there, but to remember the one Father. It's like doing my own work, isn't it? Doing my own effort, my own work, to churn so deeply and keep my intellect with one. If only the one Father remains in your intellect, your intoxication can rise. However, body consciousness causes a lot of obstacles in this. When some are even a little ill, they become distressed. They begin to remember their friends and relatives, and this is why their intoxication doesn't rise. If they were to stay in yoga, this is wonderful. Their pain would lessen. So Baba's saying that when we grind our own ingredients, churn, remember, then it even influences our physical well-being. If we're body conscious, we worry about our health. But Baba's saying if we really remember him, our pain is lessened. Wonderful. The song, you wasted the night in sleeping and the day in eating. Om Shanti. All of these things are also written in the scriptures. They even explain them to one another. Gurus give many types of direction. Many very good devotees sit in a little room with their hand in a little cloth bag, which they call gaumuk, and turn the beads of a rosary. That too is a fashion they have been taught. I think many of you have seen the Hare Krishnas. They have their hand in a little bag. They have a rosary they're always turning. The Father says, children, renounce all of that. Each soul has to remember the Father. There is no question of turning the beads of a rosary in this. The best song is, we should do a poll, what is the best song? And Baba mentions this so many times today. The best song is Salutations to Shiva. It is only in this song that they have said, you are the mother and father. God alone is called the Father, the Creator. Since he is called the Creator, what does he create? Surely everyone understands that he would only create the new world. People also sing, you are the mother and father, and we are your children. So first of all, God is the Father of all. Since there is the Father, the mother is also needed. I would say for months, Baba's been taking us deeper and deeper and deeper into these two main relationships, the father and the mother. And how deep does Baba take us? And in doing that too is revealing Shiv Baba's part, but also the part of the mother, Brahma. It's very, very deep. He cannot create without the mother. It is just that people don't know how he creates. Secondly, we are all brothers and sisters. So then there cannot be any vision of vice. There is the one mother and father. So these points are very good to understand and then explain. Thirdly, the father must definitely have created the world. First, the mother and father. Second, because one mother and father, we're all brothers and sisters. And then thirdly, the father must have definitely created the world. We were his children, and we have now become that once again. After completing the cycle of 84 births, we now belong to the mother and father, whom the people on the path of devotion remember. The mother and father create the world. We become his children, and so he must definitely give us a lot of happiness. No one knows that God becomes the mother and father. Baba's going to revisit this time and time again today, the part of the mother and father. He is also the teacher and Satguru too. We children of Brahma are brothers and sisters among ourselves. We are called Brahma Kumars and Kumaris. He is also the one who creates us. We are studying Raja Yoga with the mother and father. Why? Why are all of us, there's how many on there's now 538 of us and many sitting in rooms. Why are we all studying daily with the mother and father? In order to receive a lot of happiness. The ultimate result of all our study, our effort, our yoga, is to be happy. Only when we are in sorrow can we receive a lot of happiness. It is not that he will come here in the future when we are happy to give these teachings, not in the golden age. It is when we are in sorrow that we receive the teachings for going into happiness. That mother and father comes and gives us happiness. Adam and Eve are very well known. They too are definitely the children of God. Though I found it so interesting the other day when Baba said that Abraham and Christ both come to India. And Baba always says that Bharat is the highest pilgrimage place. And I was thinking that Buddha was born there, South Nepal, Shankaracharya, Guru Nanak, and then Abraham and Christ also visited 5 of the prophets. I'm not sure about Muhammad, but the incredible part of Bharat as the eternal land, the Avinashi Khand. So they too are definitely the children of God. So who then is God? You children know that the knowledge of the Father that the Father gives is for those of all religions. And really in our zone, I think one thing which is so special, that we are serving all the religions. We're all in different countries, and Inner Peace, Inner Power has just taken place in Madhaban, and they had 70 people from a Muslim background. I just love the generosity of Baba's heart. Baba just sees the whole world as his children, no matter what religion. And I think we need to be so big-hearted as well to accept everybody. The intellect's yoga for the whole world has broken away from that father. Maya, the ghost, doesn't allow you to connect your intellects in yoga. Instead, she breaks your intellect intellect's yoga away even more. The Father comes and enables you to conquer the ghost. Nowadays, there are many people in the world with occult powers. This is a world of ghosts. The ghost of the vice of lust makes you cause sorrow from one another, from its beginning, through the middle to the end. It is the work of a ghost to make you cause sorrow for one another. Ghosts don't exist in the Golden Age. It has been explained that a ghost is also mentioned in the Bible. I think some of us are from a Christian background and they have the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. To be very honest, I never understood it till I came in Gyan. But when I began to realize the Father, Shiv Baba, the Son, Brahma, Saka Baba, the Holy Ghost, Abhiyak Bap Dada, instantly it just helped me understand what was the original meaning of that Trinity. So ghosts don't exist in the Golden Age. It has been explained that a ghost is also mentioned in the Bible. Ravan means a ghost. This is the kingdom of ghosts. There are no ghosts in the Golden Age. The kingdom of Rama, there is a lot of happiness there. The song, Salutations to Shiva, is very good. Shiva is the mother and father. Shiva would still be called the father. Adam and Eve, that is Brahma and Saraswati, are here. There the Christians pray to God the Father. This Bharat is the land of the mother and father. His birth takes place here. So you have to explain, since you remember the mother and father, we are all brothers and sisters. He creates creation through Prajapita Brahma. He adopts them. Saraswati is also adopted. Prajapita Brahma has adopted us, and this is how so many have become Brahma Kumars and Brahma Kumaris. Shiv Baba continues to have us adopted. Only through Brahma is the new world created. There are many methods with which to explain, but you don't explain fully. So Baba's going back again. Baba has told you many times, play the song Salutations to Shiva everywhere. How are we the children of the mother and father? The Father sits here and explains this. The new world was established through Brahma. It is now the end of the Iron Age, and we are establishing the Golden Age once again. This has to be imbibed in your intellects. Knowledge is very easy. Is this your experience? You know, once Daddy Prakashmani was in Australia and she was meeting all of us and she asked, is this life easy or is this life difficult? And then she asked us all to put up our hand. So 50% said it was easy and 50% said it was difficult. So we said to Daddy G, what's the answer, Daddy G? And her answer was both. And it's true, isn't it? It's like sometimes so easy and sometimes quite challenging. And Baba's saying, knowledge is very easy. Storms of Maya do not allow you to stay in this knowledge and yoga. The intellect is amazed. You should always explain God, the creator of all, is one. Everyone would call him the Father, would he not? That incorporeal one is beyond birth and death. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar have subtle costumes. It is here that people take 84 births. They don't take them in the subtle region. You know that we are the children of the mother and father. We are new children. The Father has adopted us. Since he is Prajapita, the father of the people, there would be so many people. He must surely have adopted them. You know, I said to Nivebai in March, I asked him, how many BKs are there? And he said, oh, brother, I think around 3 million. So then I asked Didi Nirmala, Didi was still with us, because, you know, Didi is always very practical. And Didi said probably 2 million, in the sense that the family's just growing enormously. Of course, it's a variety family, it's a number-wise family, but it's a huge family now. So they portray Brahma with many arms, but they don't understand the meaning of that. All the images and scriptures that have emerged have to be based on the drama. It was the day of Brahma, and then the path of devotion began. That has been continuing. Only the Father comes and teaches us Raja Yoga. Children, this should remain in your intellects. It is said, grind your own ingredients and your intoxication will rise. However, your intellect's yoga has to be connected with the Father. Here, the intellect's yoga of many wanders. They remain trapped in the friends and relatives of the old world or in body consciousness. It's a powerful word, isn't it? Trap. It's like when my intellect is always going to everything limited, people and their opinions and their behavior. It's a trap that in this world people can't escape from unless we really practice soul consciousness. When they become even slightly ill, they become greatly distressed or whole. But if you were to stay in yoga, your pain would decrease. If there is no yoga, how can you become free from illness, etc.? You should think about it. The mother and father who become the number one pure souls are the ones who come down the farthest. A wonderful sort of thought, isn't it, that because Mama and Baba were the highest, their distance from the highest stage to the lowest stage is the greatest. They've come down the farthest. They have to go through a lot of settling of karma. This is Baba and Mama. However, because of staying in yoga, their illnesses continued to be removed. Otherwise, they would have had to have the maximum suffering of karma. However, their suffering is removed with the power of yoga, and they have a lot of happiness. We are receiving a lot of happiness of heaven from Baba. Many children don't consider themselves to be souls. Throughout the day, they only think about their bodies. Baba comes and teaches you how to sing knowledge. So you have to become nightingales of knowledge. It's really one of the main directions of Baba, isn't it? Study and teach. Study and teach. And also often I have heard in my own experience that sometimes your stage can be a little bit fluctuating. When you sit and start to share Baba's knowledge, how do you feel? And it's so much a part of our transformation to study, to grind our own ingredients, churn, and then offer it to others to teach. Outside, there are many very good, very young daughters who continue to chirp the knowledge. It was through the Kumaris that Bisham Pitamai was given knowledge. The little children have to be made to become alert and active. Little children reveal their physical mothers and fathers and the spiritual mother and father. Then, I'm sorry, there's a little bit of noise outside. I'm actually at another center today where we had a celebration for 1 year for this center. So we just finished the celebration, and then I had come to join the family from Asia for the Global Silence Retreat. So Baba is saying, little children reveal their physical mothers and fathers and the spiritual mother and father. Then both this world and that world are glorified. So the physical mothers and fathers also have to be uplifted. You will see how little daughters uplift their mothers and fathers. Kumaris are given respect. Everyone bows down to the Kumaris. In the Shiv Shakti army, all are Kumaris. Although some are mothers, they are still called Kumaris. Very good Kumaris will emerge. It is the young daughters who will show everyone. Some young daughters are very good, but some also have a lot of attachment. Attachment is very bad. This too is an evil spirit that turns you away from the Father. It is the business of Maya, the ghost, to turn you away from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. This song, so what's Baba's favorite song today? This song, Salutations to Shiva, is the best song of all. It is in this that they say, you are the mother and father. Generally, in the Radha and Krishna temple, they show the form of a couple. There is no mention in the Gita of Radha together with Sri Krishna. So thank you. We're going to have traffic control.
Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। शिव का कर लो ध्यान, आ रहा पावन पुण्य सवेरा। पिता पहचानो, इसी राजपथ पर चलकर तुम पालो अपना बसेरा। ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा। ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम शांति।
So Baba just said that there's no mention in the Gita of Radhe together with Sri Krishna. The praise of Sri Krishna is separate, full of all virtues, 16 celestial degrees full. The praise of Shiva is different. When people perform an arti, I think we all know arti, the worship with the light, with a lamp on it, a plate with a lamp on it, to Shiva, they sing so much praise that they don't understand the meaning of it. They have become, what's happened to everyone with so much searching? We're the old souls. We've been looking, searching, seeking for 63 births. Incredible. The result? They have become tired by worshipping all the time. You know that Mama, Baba and you Brahmins are the ones who've done the most worship. You have now become Brahmins. It is number-wise in this too. There is also the suffering of karma, which has to be settled through yoga. Children, you have to break your body consciousness. You have to remember the Father and stay in a lot of happiness. We receive a lot of happiness from the Mother and Father. This Brahma says, I receive the inheritance from Baba. Baba has taken my chariot on loan. So Baba would offer special hospitality to this chariot. So at the beginning, the mother and father now, it's a lovely sort of interaction between Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. And you can really feel the incredible love. I sometimes feel the greatest love affair of the whole cycle is Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. And when I went to Karachi, and I was just in Kunj Bhavan, where Brahma Baba lived for 14 years with Well, actually, he lived a little bit away, but the Kumaris lived in Kunchpavan. You know what I felt there? I just felt this incredible love that Shiv Baba had, and how that love just pulled them all beyond their body consciousness, but especially the extraordinary love between Shiv Baba and Brahma Baba. And this is such a sweet interaction between the two. So Baba would offer special hospitality to this chariot. Previously, I used to think I, this soul, am feeding this chariot. So Brahma Baba saying, this is also a chariot. Now it would be said, that one is the one who feeds this one. Shiv Baba feeds. This chariot has to be looked after. After a lord sits on a horse, he would also feed it with his own hands. Sometimes he would rub its back. They look after them well because they ride them. Baba, this is Shiv Baba, rides this one, and so would Baba not offer him that special hospitality, feeding him, caring for him, rubbing his back? When Baba bathes, he thinks, I am bathing, and I also have to give a bath to Baba because he has taken this chariot on loan. Shiv Baba says, I also give a bath and feed your body. I don't eat, but I do feed the body. So lovely, isn't it? It's like Shiv Baba taking practical care of Brahma Baba and looking after his chariot. Baba has all of these different thoughts at the time of bathing and while walking around. This is something of his experience. Baba himself says, I enter this one at the end of his many births. This one doesn't know his births. I know them. You say that Baba is once again giving you knowledge. You have to claim your inheritance of heaven. In the golden age, there are kings and also subjects. You have to make effort to claim your full inheritance from the Father. If you don't claim it now, you will miss it every cycle. You won't be able to claim such a high status. It is a deal for birth after birth. Therefore, you have to follow Srimad so much. You will become instruments every cycle. You have been receiving your inheritance every cycle. This study is for cycle after cycle. Children, you have to pay a lot of attention to this. You can keep the aim for 7 days and then also study the Murli at home. It is made very easy for you. The drama should remain in your intellects. This is called the World University. So if you go anywhere, even to America, you can claim your inheritance from the Father. You simply just have to imbibe this for a week. Do the course and go anywhere and continue to study. You are the children of God, and so you are brothers and sisters. There is Prajapita Brahma, and so all of his children are brothers and sisters. When you live at home with your families as brothers and sisters, you would surely remain pure. It is very easy. Acha. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, Love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap-Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father. The essence. Number one, in order to save yourself from Maya, who was Maya today? From Maya, a ghost, remain busy in this knowledge and yoga. Renounce the evil spirit of attachment and show the Father. Sing knowledge. Isn't that beautiful? Sing knowledge. 2, pay full attention to studying and claiming your inheritance from the Father. Under no circumstances should you lose this chance every cycle. The blessing. May you be the master of yourself by becoming Rup and Basant. That is, by being Jnani and Yogi according to the time. Those who are masters of themselves can become Rup when they want and Basant when they want. They can, remember Baba, have yoga or speak knowledge. They can create either of the 2 stages in a second. Let it not be that you want to become Rup, but that you keep remembering things of knowledge instead. Put a full stop in less than a second. This is the ultimate fitness of Brahman life, isn't it? To put a full stop, let go, and become bodiless. A powerful break works when it is applied. For this, practice stabilizing your mind and intellect in whatever stage you want, at whatever time you want. Let there be such controlling and ruling power. Beautiful blessing, a full stop in less than a second. I remember once Abhiyak Bap-Dada said he went on a tour of the world and he was seeing all the children. He said the thing lacking was the ability to put a full stop. And Daddy Genki once said that the quality of the 8 jewels, what distinguishes those 8 souls, is that they can put a full stop in a second. A scene of dramas happening, sometimes not such a pleasant scene, we all know them, but rather than analyzing, processing, letting it constantly go around in my head with deep knowledge, I understand and I put a full stop and I move on. It's the sign of spiritual power for me to put a full stop in a second. The slogan, a messenger of peace, is one who gives the gift of peace to those who bring storms. So do you give gifts to those who sometimes are upset, confused, a little bit angry, negative? If so, you're a messenger of peace. And then we have a little piece from Mama and the essence, what people pray to God for and what they attain. You are the mother and father and we are your children, and due to your grace, we have an abundance of happiness. To whom is this praise sung? Definitely this is sung to God, because God himself came in the form of the mother and father and gave limitless happiness to this world. God definitely created a world of happiness at some point. This is why they call out to him as the mother and father. However, people do not know what happiness is. When there was limitless happiness on this earth, there was also peace on the earth, but there isn't that happiness anymore. People definitely have a desire for happiness. However, some then ask for wealth, some ask for children, and some even ask that they remain faithful wives, that they never become a widow. Their desires are only for happiness. They want happiness, but they feel these avenues will bring them happiness. So God will definitely fulfill their desires at some point. In the Golden Age, when there is heaven on earth, there is a constant happiness there. Women are never widowed there. So that desire is fulfilled in the Golden Age, where there is limitless happiness. Otherwise, it is hell at this time. At this time, human beings are only suffering in sorrow. Acha. Om Shanti. So, Baba giving us that beautiful title, Nightingales of Knowledge. And Baba suggesting to us to chirp the knowledge. So sweet, as when little birds open their mouths, it's like they chirp. And really an essential part of our life with Baba. And really it is so special for me to see such a huge group on this global silence retreat. And multi-million-fold congratulations to all the organizers to bring it together and have us all so well coordinated in different time zones and et cetera, and all the translation. It's honestly a fantastic effort. And you know, I feel it's so important we come together. I feel so important to try to get to Madhavan, to meet the family, because this sense of family, this sense of closeness, the power of the gathering is so important at this time. Even us coming together on Zoom is really bringing hearts close. And the more our hearts come close, the greater the power in the gathering, the greater Baba's task continues. But in saying that, these days when I meet the Brahmin family, and we've all in this zone, we've gone through a big change in the last only 5 weeks. So Didi Nirmala, who I think virtually everyone on this webinar has had a personal connection with, if not 90%. And when you look at Didi's life, for nearly 50 years, she gave her life for others due to her incredible love for one, her love for Baba. And, you know, she has really been the seed of our entire zone and the seed of all our countries. And how much appreciation is there. But all of us know that Didi is the main one who would want us to strengthen our spiritual connection with Baba. So Didi has left a memorial in the hearts of everyone. But everything changes. And this is the law of the confluence age, is change, change, and more change. And I was in an RC meeting a little while ago, and one of the RCs asked Bridge Mohanbhai, as you know, we have the 6 RCs who are caring for all the regions, but now Bridge Mohanbhai and Ashaben also join the RC group. And we were having a meeting and we were talking about all the changes in the Yajna. And one of the RCs said to Bridge Mohanbhai, what is happening? What is happening? Bab Dada is not coming anymore. There's only one daddy left, and she's 100 next March, 100 years old. Hardly any seniors around like we knew before. And then recently, so many of us have the experience we couldn't even meet the Brahmin family during COVID or go to centers. And so she said again, what is happening? And Br.Charlie's answer was, they've been asking that question since 1936. There's been so much change in the confluence age. You think from that little place in Karachi to all over India to now, you know, there are 55,000 Brahma Kumaris teaching places in the world. That's phenomenal. That's absolutely incredible. But Br.Charlie went on to say that no matter what changes, no matter who comes and who goes, this is Shiv Baba's yajna. This is Shiv Baba's creation. And Shiv Baba's hand is still on the rudder of this boat that's taking us all to the golden age. And I think it's really powerful because so much change in our world at the moment, and so much change in the Brahmin world as well. And one of my favorite points of knowledge is that there is benefit in everything. And we all know sometimes things happen that don't seem beneficial at all on the surface. And yet sometimes I've had the experience down the track, I can really feel the benefit of that particular situation. What's the benefit of this time? To me, all the supports are going. The supports in the world outside, they're all going, everything is changing. But even within the Brahmin world, a lot of the daddies, the seniors, the sisters, everything's changing. Of course, our maryadas, our principles never change. But it really means it takes us, it's of benefit, because ultimately, what is the aim of this life for each one of us? When we entered the cycle, we came naked. We had no consciousness of the body, didn't have one relationship, one physical possession. And in a way, all this change is taking all the supports away so that ultimately my mind and my heart is fully dependent on one Shiv Baba. And you know, the more I go on in my Brahmin journey, I feel this is the one effort to make. That really when I make the foundation of my life, the one who's incorporeal, egoless, and viceless, this then is the automatic methodology to really move forward in a natural way. And so I feel at this time, we all have to become masters of change. And a little while ago, I was reading something about Charles Darwin, who really came up with the theory of evolution. And we know that that theory, doesn't hold water with the cycle, but he had a lifetime of research and he came up with this interesting expression: adapt or die. Adapt or die. And in all his research, he found that when there's huge change, like now, whether it's human beings or animals even, when there's huge change, it is not the strongest who survive. It's not the most intelligent who survive. It is actually those who adapt to change, those who are flexible. And I feel that this is such a powerful message for us. We can't keep sitting around saying in the good old days it was different. In the good old days we did this. In the good old days this would happen. The good old days were good, but these days are magical too. I sometimes feel the most magical time of the whole cycle is still to come. We are going to watch the glorification of the Father and Mother of all souls. And extraordinary scenes of drama are going to emerge. But I feel we have to become so much masters of change, so flexible, with whatever is happening around. And one of the things that I often reflect on these days is that we are a number-wise family. We are all different. In fact, that's the beauty of the Brahmin family. Number-wise is not judgmental. It's not a judgmental thing. It's actually a statement of eternal truth that we are all different. And I feel that if we begin to accept that reality, if I go into the depth of this truth that we are all different, we all have our own unique part, and I actually observe that part and appreciate that part, I think it can make a massive difference to the quality of my life. That I'm able to really accept everyone, that everyone can sit in my heart. Because if we're to serve this incredible variety of people in the world at the moment, 8 billion human beings, I also have to be able to have such a big and generous heart. So adapt to all the variety of personalities, all the variety of sanskaras and behaviors around me. So first, I think time is suggesting to become the master of change. Secondly, I feel we have to become masters of lightness. You know, how much is happening in our world at the moment? There's wars, there's conflicts, there's this, there's that, so much. Each one of us has our own stories happening in our own lives. And the habit of the human mind is to think, overthink, and worry. And worry is a real sign that I lack the depth of truth, and I lack the depth of knowledge, and I lack the depth of the understanding of drama. If I'm generating waste, it's a sign that there's a lack of understanding of drama. In a sense, the drama is perfect. If I'm fighting drama or not accepting drama, it's a sign I haven't absorbed the depth of it. But I had an experience in Delhi recently that just made me realize that Baba's task is going along perfectly. Sometimes we think this is happening, that's happening, this one's like this one's like that, the yajna should do this, the yajna should do that, many thoughts. But actually, we had an interfaith gathering with the President of India. And as all of you know, she is a Paka Brahma Kumari. And she's extraordinary. I'd only met her this time. Such a simple person. And she came from a village and was of the lowest caste in India, as you all know. And when I was listening to the story of her life, it's extraordinary. She became a local officer, then went a bit higher, then became a local politician, became the governor of her state, and is now the president of the world's most populous country. And really, her story really fascinated me, because when I came into Gyan, we were told or suggested that when the chaos begins in Bharat, and Baba has always said each country has experiences destruction in different ways, but in Bharat there will be civil war. And Baba said that at one point the president of the country would create martial law, bring in the army, and invite the Brahma Kumaris also to really try to provide support for the country. And as I was sitting, we had this lovely interfaith event, and we had 10 religious leaders, and they all came up and spoke. And I was just watching this president, and I just thought the drama is perfect. You know, everything is just happening as it should, because I can see that this president will be that instrument in the scenes when chaos comes to, you know, bring in the Brahma Kumaris. And I really just thought that I should never doubt anything, never have worry about what will happen, how will things turn out, what will the results be. Because in a way, that overthinking makes me heavy, and really have such a deep trust and faith in the perfection and accuracy. Everything is moving along as it should. And so seeing the time, seeing the state of the world, seeing the change, we have to become masters of change. We have to become masters of lightness, keep myself light. And if I find myself overthinking, thinking myself into a dark place, a heavy place, I would really just sit down and reconnect with self, reconnect with Baba, reconnect with the light. Because that's our part, to keep light and make others light around us too. But the next thing I really feel for this time is masters of self-sustenance. You know, once I met Daddy Janki with Brother Ken, and she said to us that, you know, who can sustain others? She asked us. We gave her a few answers. She didn't like them. And she said, those who can sustain themselves in any atmosphere, at any time, in any company. The seed of being a great sustainer is to sustain the self. And I feel that this is what drama is requiring of all of us now, is that we can't, all the supports are going. We can't rely on a special person or even an atmosphere at the center or this or that or anything. If it's there, it's good. But if it's not there, I have to have my own foundation. I have to build my self-respect and my relationship with Baba. I have to build it on my own foundation, make it absolutely solid. And I was thinking of a Murli that Baba spoke about a year ago that was a revised Abhiyat Murli. And in that Murli, Baba said he went on a tour at Amrit Bela. And he said all the children woke up and all the children were making effort to have an experience. But very, very few were experiencing. Then Baba went on to say, the greatest power is experience. I personally feel for me, at this time, what is going to sustain me is learning the art of creating spiritual feelings and spiritual experiences in the sacred space of my mind. So that no matter where I am, I can create the feelings I want. And this really came home to me because about 5 or 7 years ago, probably 7 years ago, a few of we brothers were taking drishti from Baba. I think you all know the walk past, as we'd walk past Baba, and we got our few seconds of drishti. And Baba stopped a few of we older brothers from foreign countries. And he said, come back, I want to speak to you. So once the walk past had finished, myself and Ken and a few others went and we stood in front of Baba. And Baba said many things, but 4 or 5 times Baba said, create new experiences in yoga. Create new experiences in yoga. And then I remembered when I was early-ish in Guyana, I went and stayed with Jagdish Bhai in Delhi. And he was an extraordinary thinker. And he said, I asked him actually, for someone like me, what's most important in my Brahman life? And straight away he said, new experiences in yoga. And I began to sort of think about it, how at Brahman birth, often all of us have unique experiences. We feel bodiless. We feel love from Baba. We feel absorbed in Baba. But after a while, the newness of spiritual experience starts to go down, and we need newness in life. So then I start to look for newness once again in relationship or in service, rather than in using, my wisdom, my knowledge, my churning to create new feelings that really have a rich feeling inside, sustain the heart inside. And I've often mentioned an experience I had in 1985, which really was a massive milestone on my Brahman journey. When Baba said to the double foreigners, do the course again. I had been a BK for 10 years. And Baba said, do the course again. And he called it the realization course. And you know what Baba said? You know the knowledge. You believe the knowledge. You teach the knowledge, but you don't experience the knowledge. That was like such a powerful thing for me. And in a way, what is yoga? What is meditation? It's converting what I know, the knowledge, into a feeling. Converting theory into experience. To me, this is really what sustains. And actually, Baba said that each point of knowledge has an associated experience. And the way we are educated is that once we know a fact, it's just stored in our intellect. We think, I know it. I know I'm a soul. But we all know that's the first step of tens of thousands of steps of unpacking this truth, unpacking the fact, so that I feel I'm a soul. And then I'll feel a quality of incredible peace when I do. When Baba says churn the knowledge, I think he means experience the knowledge, feel it. And this has been such a quest for me personally. And I really feel coming into the future, who knows how much company we will have, who knows where we will be. But if I can use my churning, my relationship with Baba, to create all these new fragrances in the sacred space of my mind, feelings. And when you sit and you may feel absolutely loved by Baba, and just observe how you feel, it just changes you instantly. Or you feel a quality of peace, you feel that nothing can break it. Or maybe you feel so detached that nothing in this world can affect you or influence you. We know these feelings, these experiences have massive effect on my life and my spiritual progress. And Baba once gave a formula for spiritual experience, which I've experimented with a lot. 3 steps. Become a point. Apply a point. Remember a point. To me, it's a fantastic formula for spiritual feelings, spiritual experience, which will sustain me no matter what the atmosphere of the world is like around me. Become a point. How much have I really done the work? Just a few weeks ago in the Avyak Murli, Baba said, the foundation practice of this life is to become bodiless. And I've been practicing as I go about my day, just to stop and just let go, completely let go. How quickly can I do it? How effectively can I do it? And what's really helps me really let go and come to this place of feeling the bodiless soul is to feel incorporeal. And often these words we hear them every day, and the language, a word is a word, but to the reality of myself as I'm non-physical. And I've often thought about this, you know, when Baba died and he summarized 32 years of efforts of the number one soul in 3 words. And the first, incorporeal, egoless and viceless. I asked Didi Manmohini once, of all the efforts to make in Brahman life, Baba says so many things, what's the most important? And straight away she said to be incorporeal. So I find on this journey of becoming a point, which is opening the door to deep, rich, sustaining spiritual feelings, which is why we all began this life, depends first on my ability to detach from my body, detach from my name, my form, absolutely every single label, and feel the incorporeal being sitting lightly in the forehead. And what I found when I've been experimenting with this is that it's almost like I feel I'm with Baba watching the world, rather than me in the world trying to remember Baba up there. It's almost like I'm with Baba and I'm observing the world down there. You know, that sense of being with your companion and the detached observer just watching this drama of life is such a place of spiritual power. But the second step to spiritual experience, apply a point, I found the most important. Because I began to observe the mind is driven by its own thinking. The mind is driven by its karmic story. And even as Brahmins, a part of body consciousness, we become so self-absorbed, so absorbed in me, my life, how I feel, what's happening, what's going on. And this is just driving what is happening up here. And what happens when I'm self-absorbed in my story and this life? It suppresses spiritual experience. The more I overthink, overanalyze, overprocess, I feel it suppresses the ability to feel the love, to feel the purity of Baba, to feel these qualities which are the real energy to sustain my mind and my heart, my whole being. And I remember once Baba met an Australian brother, and Baba said to him, sit at Amrit Vela with a plain intellect. Sit at Amrit Vela with a plain intellect. Meaning an intellect that has no agenda, an intellect not over self-absorbed, but is really open to take from Baba. And when I heard that, I really realized often when I sit to remember Baba, I'm working something out. I'm thinking through something, sometimes even planning, sometimes churning. And I began to practice being detached from myself, applying a full stop to my story, my life, my feelings, what's going on, my relationships, my little world, getting so self-absorbed, detached. And I found that when I sort of detach and I sit in front of Baba with no agenda, like a plain intellect, then Baba can come right in. Baba can influence me. And sometimes I get incredible feelings and realizations just float through my mind. So rather than me trying to control my mind, control feelings and thoughts, and this is going on, I just let go and almost let Baba sit in front of Baba, let Baba come in, let Baba influence me, let Baba's energy absorb inside of me. And to me, applying a point is really what was in the blessing today too, putting a full stop to overthinking. The law really says the more I overthink, the less I really can experience. It's good to churn, but to me, churning is not this intellectual dissection of information. There's many people in the world, there's academics, they're brilliant, and it's good. The world needs some of that, but for us, actually, the law really says the more I go deep into the knowledge, the less I think. So thoughts become less, and the more I experience, the more I feel. So it's like become a point, apply a point, and remember a point. It's almost like I'm preparing myself for the ultimate study of this life, the ultimate connection. And sometimes I think we absorb the ocean of knowledge for one thing, to keep the subtle thread of my intellect with one. And if, when I listen to the Murli, sometimes I think this is the ocean of knowledge. This is the only soul in eternity that retains truth. Undiluted, pure, unadulterated truth. What's his fundamental advice to me? Remember me alone. That's simple. The way I'm seeing it now, I just feel that I'm observing the subtle thread. The intellect's always traveling. The intellect can travel, it's beyond time, it's that instant. Even as you're listening now, the intellect travels in 10, 20, 30 directions in a few seconds. It's an incredible piece of spiritual anatomy. And what Baba is really saying is my karmic story keeps pulling that subtle thread to people, to friends, to situations, to things that shouldn't be happening, things that are wrong. And I get caught in the trap of overthinking about all that stuff. But God's advice is saying, yes, that is all happening. Things aren't good sometimes. Things are wrong. People do behave badly. It's all true. But children, keep the subtle thread with me. Because when you do, you will not be influenced by all that, and your vibrations will influence those who are trapped in all the stories, all the conflicts, all the differences, all the dislike, all the disapproval, all the stuff. Because sometimes some people become so intelligent in analyzing the problems. But does it help? Does it really help us? Because ultimately what God is saying to us is to keep the thread with me. And sometimes I sit at Amrit Vela and I challenge myself. Okay, this is the time that the highest soul, the ocean of knowledge, advises me to sit and absorb in him. And I will sit. And the subtle thread will travel in 3 seconds. Bring it back, it'll travel off again. Not to bad things even. It might be to something I have to do. It might be a thing of service, something like that. But I really began to observe the nature of this subtle thread dancing to the tune of its past and its sanskaras. And really when I absorb truth deep, I have the power to remember Baba. And I just imagine this subtle thread absorb in the form of God, in the love of God, in the light of God, this real living relationship with this real living soul. And what I find when I really absorb, and I'm just sitting in front of Baba and my sense organs, the soul's so detached. So what I see is not influencing what I hear. My memory even is not influencing me. I'm resonating on that frequency with Baba. That is the sublime experience of the confluence age. And what I find, this wonderful fragrance, this vibration of Baba, it's like I download that vibration into here, this incredibly light, pure, clean, joyous feeling of self-value. What a feeling. Is there a better feeling than that? And when I hold that feeling here, it sustains me. It sustains me so deeply that I don't feel I need anything. And it sustains the atmosphere around me. And it even sustains the people I love and work with. I feel all we really have to do now is keep this quality of connection. Really keep being creative in the way I remember Baba. And then I download that vibration. I live stream Baba's vibration. There's no more elevated sustenance in life than that. And really, my question to myself, if I notice any little fluctuation inside, however small, the question to ask the heart, what have I been remembering? What have I plugged the subtle thread of my intellect to? It may be to an issue. It may be to a personality. It may be to a behavior. It may be to a disapproval of something. But when the subtle thread has yoga with that feeling in the mind changes, it's not so sweet anymore. And this is the attention of this life now. We're in the final moments of this cycle. All of us have recognized Baba. And to create our fortune, the number one task that God has given us is to keep the thread with him. And I find that the more I feel, for me, effort is attention these days. I'm just trying to create the sanskara to really watch where the subtle thread is traveling. Pay attention, and sweetly, not harshly, not to overreact to myself if it goes to a place I don't want it to go, but just bring it back to connect with my true self and connect with Baba. To me, this is the journey of really the inner effort as we go about our lives and our responsibilities. So each time has its own beauty. And this time I think is extraordinary because Baba's making us strong and powerful. And we have to be the masters of change, not be shaken by things changing dramatically. The masters of lightness, not to become heavy, overthink about a problem or a situation. Think about it, but don't overthink about it. And then masters of self-sustenance, really, if I'm even on my own, keeping my heart and mind full of Baba. This really becomes, I think, a powerful spiritual stage. And this is really what I feel I need at this time to sustain myself. Okay, it's been such a delight to connect with our beautiful family of the Asia Pacific. And I'd just briefly like to say that before we wind up, because I know we've just got a few minutes, we had a call of time in Bali last weekend, and Judy Rogers and Gayatri came. Judy was the facilitator, Gayatri was the spiritual resource, and we had, I think, about 40 guests from 13 countries of Asia Pacific region. It was just brilliant. And the family in Indonesia was brilliant. They were just wonderful. And I just saw how, Baba's way is, we can teach, but we're not the best in the world by a long way. There's these incredibly articulate people. But what the Brahma Kumaris do like no one else can do, we create an atmosphere. And when we all, these sacred spaces are full of these loving feelings for Baba and each other, the vibe we create is amazing, and it touched each soul deeply. I think Baba put his stamp on each soul that attended in a different way. So it was really quite magical, and I just want to thank all of you because everyone gave their little finger of cooperation to make it happen in a very special way. So thanks from the heart, Sister Leela and Sister Soon and everybody.
Thank you, Brother Charlie. It was also a delight listening to a being Baba's lovely nightingale, singing the song of knowledge to all of us. And you just help us raise the bar of our remembrance. Be a point, apply the point, and remember the point. And we will take this to heart the whole day, as we will be in silence. And what comes next for everyone is an all-day breakfast after this Murli, all day, because we're in different time zones. But we're going to be watching a virtual breakfast, enjoying also the company at the Tagaytay Retreat Center, because after our all-day breakfast at 11, we all join again together at 11 o'clock to have some reflection experience. You just said a very beautiful word. It's going to be a reflection experience at the Center for Spiritual Learning, CSL, at Tagaytay, Philippines. So we shall now be watching a video of breakfast at Tagaytay. And in remembrance of Baba, we raise that bar. Be a point, apply a point, remember the point. Thank you, Brother Charlie.
Thanks so much,
joining us
Sister Lila.
This morning.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy breakfast and enjoy the silence day. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I hear you say the world has fallen down, can't be turned around, and there's no use going on. But I know you've got lessons to learn, and I know you've got a future to earn, even though we forgot to see there's only one who can make us free, whose love will lead us from this world of madness, whose love will make us truly free. Though time is racing past, you still got a chance to join the dance and find that inner peace and make it last. Why hold on to sorrow? Don't wait until tomorrow. This cure will get you feeling better fast. Come along, God's love will lead us from this world of madness. That love will make us truly free. Love will lead us from this world